we're going. What?
Welcome to Chi-Town Cigar Podcast, the podcast where three Chicago guys light up a fine cigar and get into everything from sports and current events to hobbies, life's little moments, and everything in between. Whether you're here for the cigars, the conversation, or just some good laughs, we got you covered. So grab your favorite smoke, settle in, and join us for laid-back chats with a Chicago twist. Now it's time to put some smoke in the air.
It's Tuesday night in the Windy City, and that means it's another episode of the Chi-Town Cigar Podcast. Glad you joined us live or listen to us later on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I'm Mike, coming to you live from the Aganorsa Studios in Central Illinois. Hey, guys. It's a great week. You ready for a new show? Hello. We're in first place again, boys.
All right.
We're in first place again. Green Bay got knocked off by Denver. It's a great day. Val, where's Val at?
Bears.
He's gonna give us some chat here somewhere. Hello, Val. Come on, throw it in there, Val. It was a dominating
Welcome,
performance.
Val.
The Bears had a dominating performance.
Yeah, I could only
That's how
watch
we
it.
start.
They had it up on the screen while I was gambling, so I could only watch it a little bit. But I've seen the highlights, so.
and hey, Saturday, 3:00, Bears versus Green Bay. You know, it's gonna be a good one.
Can't wait for that.
I know. We took our order today for the kerosene, so the field's gonna be warm. So we're all set. I talked to my guy, the groundskeeper over there at Soldiers Field, and the kerosene is being delivered tomorrow, so it'll be all set up. So it'll be nice.
Yeah, that was a good game, dude. Like,
So, Mike,
this is the Super Bowl's next week. That's what it is.
before we finish talking about the Bears, let's just jump right into it. What's our mission?
Our mission, let's do our mission. Hold on, and hold on a second here. I'm slow here, Marty. Give me a second. Here we go. All right, our mission for the night is a fine Chicago native. He's grown up in Chicago. He lives in the Chicagoland area. He puts out some fantastic cigars. We have got Glen Case from Kristoff Cigars joining us tonight. Hello, Glenn.
Greetings, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Welcome.
We're doing great.
It's good to be on your show. Thank you for having me. This is great.
You'll have to put up with Val. Val is very anti-Bears.
Wow, look at the time. I got to go. Take care, guys.
Val, he's a rookie QB, but everybody was saying he was going to outperform Caleb Williams this week. There were bets being said on TV on Fox Sports 1 that he was going to be outperformed by Caleb. And so, listen, put your foot in your mouth. I say what you want. The Bears showed three interceptions. You know, probably the Browns defense is probably one of the better defenses the Bears have faced. They had no problem with him. Oh, here we go.
Wow, those are fighting words.
I know.
Those
Val,
are
we're
fighting
going to
words,
ban you
Val.
from the chat. We're going to get banned from winning anymore.
You look awesome against the Browns. That was a fantastic game.
Yes.
More Loveland. They did a great job. Swift. Fantastic.
Freezing cold weather,
Yeah.
fair weather.
The fourth coldest game in Bears history.
Yes. And I think I was now I'll go back again. So back in 85, 84, when they played the Rams, it was freezing. I was at that game. Both games. They played the Rams. I forget who else they played for the playoffs. But those games were freezing cold. But yeah. So I did joke around because they were showing the heaters, and I said that's our kerosene heating the field. So So there we go. Wayne. We go. Nice. It's good to have Wayne here.
Yes.
Welcome, Wayne.
So yeah.
What everybody's smoking today?
Oh,
Glenn,
right.
with Kristoff, what are you smoking?
I'm smoking a Fuente. I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm smoking the original Maduro, which is our best-selling blend. But this is the old band. So we went through a repackaging of everything. So this is the old band. And we can talk about the repackaging if you want.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
That's probably got some age on it then.
Yeah, my friend.
it has to be
3-4 years.
I was about to say 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm smoking the Kristoff Pissed Off.
Oh, don't be pissed off, my friend.
One of my favorites. And I was so close for doing it, but somebody gave me a gift for Kristoff, but it's the extremely
Pissed Off Kristoff.
And
wow.
I was like, I don't want to stay here till 12, so I love it,
brother. That's a good right 2.5 3 hour smoke. That's an investment.
I'm doing the Kristoff Guardrail.
Guardrail, love it.
We'll talk about this cigar. This is a great cigar. Yeah. We'll definitely talk about this. And Marty, I feel for you, buddy.
I'm not smoking anything because I'm in the hotel in Las Vegas, so I'm feeling sorry for you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
We'll smoke for you. How's that?
That's right.
Okay.
Good.
If I was smoking, it would be a Tres Compadres or a
Oh, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a cherished blend for me.
Oh, look at that. Marty's got some age on him.
Oh yeah. Well,
David's in the CAO Amazon Base and Dagger. Very nice. Good stuff. Val, you guys head over to
talk about the Tres Compadres if you guys want, but that's a very special project for me.
Go ahead, because I've heard the backstory in that. So go ahead and share. We'll get into all that, but go ahead, share about the Tres Compadres, and then we'll morph our interview from there. So go ahead.
So the Tres Compadres, 4 years ago, last October, I lost my best friend of 42 years, high school friends, passed away suddenly. And Rolando, who ran our factory, passed away 3 months later, suddenly. And we always called ourselves the Three Amigos. So I had done plaques for them. But this was a special project that I put together for them, a tribute to them. And so if you look at the band, there's 3 coins on the band.
Okay.
Chuck Finch, my best buddy. My initials, Glen Case, and then Rolando's initials, Rolando Villamil. And then our nicknames are on the bottom of the band. And then if you take the band off, there's an homage to them on the back of the band that pays tribute to them. But it's a Nicaraguan Puro. It's a medium-bodied. It's not your typical Nicaraguan Puro, which is big pepper and spice. This is very smooth, very creamy. It won the best boutique cigar of the year last year, highly rated everywhere, but it's a very special project for me, and I'm just so proud of it. And they Rolando and Chuck would love that blend.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've had those. Nice. They're good. Yeah.
And it's always nice when a brand or a blender, somebody puts together a cigar that's got extra special meaning. Because I think there's just a different passion with that cigar then as you talk about it, you can just sort of see it with you going, okay, it's got all this different meaning behind it, stuff like that. So.
Right. No, absolutely. And the cigar's got to be good, right? But you're absolutely right. And I try to, for the most part, come up with kind of a story behind the blend, and we'll talk about the guardrail.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Tres Compadres is a very special project for me, and it's been doing incredibly well.
So I've never looked that closely at the band. What are the nicknames?
So Chuck, I always called him Chucky. So if you look at the bottom of the band, it says Chucky. And then he always called me my friend. And then Rolando was always Majo, which is a very term of endearment, a Spanish term. Majo means dear friend, dear friend. So those are the nicknames on the bottom of the band.
Okay, cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, yeah. So just to give backstory for anybody that doesn't know, and just to go into it. So Glenn it's weird. The more I researched, I'm like, man, your story sort of aligns with Mo Mali from Patina. You were in the financial sector for 19 years. Mo was in it, I thought he said, for 15 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
something like that.
And you both sort of seem to get out for the same reasons.
Right. I mean, for me, it was just, I was in there in the financial service industry for 19 plus years. Got tired of the politics, the bureaucracy, the nonsense, and I was done. So that's when I got in the cigar industry. But the last 9 years of my career, I worked for BMO Harris Bank.
Oh yeah.
Corporate downtown, the third largest bank in the country. Yeah. But I was done. I just like, I'm done. I have to find another career. I had a great career. I was VP of sales, VP of product management for BMO Harris Bank. Worked on the 23rd floor of Monroe and LaSalle in the Loop, and I was done.
Yeah.
Did you take the train down every day then? The metro?
Every day, my friend, the metro all the way down. Every day for 9 years.
You get to really know the people on the train when you do that.
It's so true, right? And if someone's sitting in your seat, it's kind of weird. It's like you got your own seat.
We see each other every day.
Yeah. My early life, when I was in the hotel business, I took the train every day for 10 years. And it's funny because you stand at the same exact spot to get on the train. You go to the same exact seat. And if somebody's in that seat, you're like,
it's weird. It's like,
you're obviously new on this train.
You must be new here.
Yeah. So that's a very, I found it very relaxing, but almost at times too relaxing. I'd be like, okay, you really don't feel like getting up.
No, it's very true. But it's also productive, right? When you were on the train, you could work, you can email, you can whatever, or just take a nap, whatever.
And I can't picture what it's, I haven't been on a train now and a commuter train in ages, but I can't picture now with phones and laptops and all that kind of stuff, how crazy it's got to be on those trains. I mean, everybody's going to be tapping away on their laptops and on their cell phones and stuff like that.
It's definitely more quiet than it used to be back in the day. You know, everybody was interacting with each other. Now it's like everybody's in their own world.
I had a cassette player with headphones. You know, I thought that was high tech at that point. You know, so
they should have They should have a cigar car. That would be the one I want to be on.
Oh, I would pay.
They had a bar car.
Yeah,
a cigar bar or car.
I thought they were just talking about. I thought Metro was talking about, or somebody was talking about having a food car again, about trying to get a food car going again. So I thought, well, that's interesting. So you left the cigar industry. I mean, you left the financial industry to jump into the cigar industry, and I like the question that your wife asked you at the time. What do you know about cigars? And your response was.
So when I left corporate in finance, she was a broker at the time, and we partnered up. And 3 months later, our largest manufacturer said, "You guys did a great job, did a fantastic job, and you're fired." And my wife was like, "What?" And I looked at her. What's going on? She goes, "Well, as a broker, you work yourself out of a job. So a new manufacturer will hire brokers, right? Because it's 100% commission. There's no benefits, no salary. And once they build up the market, they can afford to go in-house sales." So I told her, I'm like, well, that's messed up. I can't do this anymore. And this is only 3 months into it.
Right.
So to your point, she goes, "Well, what do you know about cigars?" I go, "I don't know, but I'm going to figure out how to make my own cigars. This is messed up. I don't want to be at the mercy of someone else." And so I was looking to buy or build a factory, and met with a gentleman, Rolando Villamil, who was the Tres Compadres that I previously mentioned. And he came to Chicago for the first time, born and raised in the Dominican, and he wanted me to sell his cigars. I said, "That's not going to happen. we're not going to broker cigars anymore. I'm going to buy or build a factory. He says, no, my friend, come to the Dominican. I have a big factory. We can make your cigars. So within 2 weeks, I was down at the factory and took a tour of the factory. I said, all right, I love what I see. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So that's when we started blending cigars. That was early in 2004.
Yeah. That had to be scary. I mean, I can't picture jumping out of one career after 19 years and then going and taking everything basically and saying, okay, I'm gonna dip my toe into this pool and see how it goes, because it's an unknown. I mean, it's an absolute unknown.
It's a total unknown. It was a huge risk, to your point, Mike. It's but I always liked to smoke cigars, and I was like, all right, I'm going to take control of my own destiny and let's do this. So the challenge is blending cigars. It's an art. It's not a science. So it took a good year and a half of blending and understanding tobacco processing and blending different tobaccos and finally coming up with something that starts working. But at the time, my wife was like, when are you going to start making money at this? I said, look, give me a minute. It's going to take a minute, but we'll make it work.
Yeah.
So now fast forward 21 years. We're in 60, 70 other countries. We're all over the U.S. and I'm very blessed. It's been an awesome journey.
Yeah, and I mean, and I don't think this is an insult, but you guys are a true boutique company. I mean, I think you guys put out some good quality cigars, and I think you're doing it at a great pace where you're not trying to run too far ahead. We said the same thing to Mo from Patina Cigars. It's like you're putting out good quality cigars, and you're not trying to put out 100 SKUs, or you're not trying to put out, where I think some brands lose track of their consumers. Lauren Copper was on the show, and we talked about that. Brands have got to remember who their consumers are. You can't put out a $100 cigar and think, okay, everybody's going to buy that cigar, because you might have a handful of people, but the majority of people are going to go, I can't touch that cigar. And I'm not going to spend $100 on one cigar where that can turn on and buy me 5 or 6 cigars or more, depending upon, the world of budget cigars and $8 cigars, it might be falling away a little bit, but, I think you guys, we'll talk about your pricing and stuff like that, because you made a comment that I heard that I really respect, and I think it's a great thing, but it's, I just think you guys are moving in the right, and I say moving in the right direction. You're 21 years old, so it's not like you're in the right direction and you're in the right lane for the average consumer, because especially now with the economy the way it is, people they're not spending, $50, $60, $100 on one single cigar.
Right. And there's companies that are doing that, but we're not in that wheelhouse. I don't think that's right for the consumer. We want to sort of appeal to most cigar consumers. We're in that $9.50 to $12.50 range. Our 685 Woodlawn is a very limited production. That's our most expensive cigar. That's at $17 retail, but that's very limited production, very limited tobacco. It's a very special cigar. And the 685 Woodlawn is where I grew up at as a child.
Yes. It's funny when you put that, when I was doing some research, and you go put 685 Woodlawn into the search bar of Google, the first thing that shows up is your house or the address of where. So I'm like, okay, let's put 685 Woodlawn cigar. So it's very, I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I try to avoid the state I lived in or the city I lived in at the time.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's in Chicagoland.
yeah. It was just funny because I didn't even think about it. I just put 685 Woodlawn, and I'm like, oh, all right, that's not what I'm looking for, but okay, so it's but yeah, it's pretty unique, I think, and I love that as well. I started doing some research on that last week when I was looking at you, and I'm thinking, oh man, I want to get my hand on that cigar as well, just to be able to try. Because I can say I haven't tried that one, and it's like, oh, that'd be something interesting to try because it's a limited cigar, but at the same point, it seems like it's got some characteristics that are interesting and something that I think somebody who is researching your company or somebody that's trying your company goes, oh, wait a minute here, that's something different, and we can talk about the guardrail as well because I think it's a great cigar. But let's talk about your early time prior to jumping into the cigar industry. You were smoking cigars at an age that we do not recommend people smoking cigars at. This show is not condoning smoking cigars unless you're over the age of 18. But
back in the day,
yes,
it was
exactly.
legal.
Yes.
So I'm much older than all you guys, but back in the day, I was smoking Swisher Sweets at Harold's Pool Hall in Hanover Park.
Oh wow! Yeah,
Excuse me.
That's so you really dipped your toe into a fine cigar at an early age.
Yeah, so my buddies from high school, including Chuck, would go to Harold's Pool Hall in Hanover Park, play pool, drink Coca-Cola, and smoke Swisher Sweets. That was our gig back in, good Lord, 1981, 80, somewhere along there.
Okay, sounds like a good time. There's a lot of worse things you could have been getting into.
Right.
Did you live by Hanover Park?
Yeah. So I grew up in Hoffman Estates, so Hanover was not far away. But I've lived in Hanover Park, Bartlett, Hoffman Estates, Naperville, Aurora.
That's a small world because I lived for like 14 years in Streamwood, so it's right next to Hanover Park. So it's pretty cool. It's such a small world. That's awesome.
Yeah. Now I live in a small farming town called Hampshire, Illinois. Population 6,500. It's a farming community. My closest neighbor is 3 acres away, so it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, you're close to me now. I live in far western Elgin, so.
Okay, yep. So Elgin, Huntley. I'm just south of Huntley and west of Elgin.
See, there's something to be said about small town living.
Yeah, right? See, you're very small, Mike.
I am very small. He's talking 6,500. I'm talking 200.
Yeah.
So there's still we had a board meeting a couple 2 weeks ago, and the guy in there's like, well, what do you guys got in here? About 1,000 people? And we all laughed. Like, no, if we can hit 200, and that's including kids, we're lucky. So
wow.
Yeah. So
that's crazy. Mike, I'm sorry, what town do you live in?
It's called Verona. It's a small, and not Italy.
God bless you.
Yeah, not to be confused with Verona, Italy. But yeah, it's a small little town, and it's not even. I say Southern Illinois because we're south of I-80. So anything south of I-80 is a different
downstate. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very nice. It's very quiet, and so it's great in that regard. So you were smoking cigars, smoking Swisher Sweets. Did you graduate up from them? How did you? What's your progression in cigars? Do you remember?
Yeah. So my first premium cigar, I couldn't even tell you how long ago it was. It was Hoya de Nicaragua. And I'm like, this is it. This is shortly after smoking Swisher Sweets, right? So,
your head starts spinning.
I'm in. I'm in for the long haul. So yeah. So now I smoke on average probably 5 to 7 cigars a day. And I love it. And I smoke my cigars. I smoke my competitor cigars all the time.
And that's good too, because I think you talk to brand owners, you talk to brand reps, and some will tell you they smoke competitor cigars, but at the same point, oh no, I sort of stick with my line and stuff like that. But I often wonder, like, how do you know what else is out there if you're not smoking other people's cigars?
Mike, you're 100% right. And any manufacturer says, I only smoke my cigars. I'm like, really? Really? Because there's so many good cigars out there. And if they're doing well, you got to figure out what they're making. Why is it successful? And you've got to, it's about looking at competitors and their strengths and weaknesses. So I think it's a false attitude to say, I'm not going to smoke any other competitor cigars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I smoke competitors all the time. I can reach in my drawer right now and pull out a handful of competitor cigars.
Yeah. No, I respect that. Yeah. I think it's great.
Do you ever smoke a competitor cigar and get like an idea from that about something you want to try with one of yours?
Of course. So you had raised up the extremely pissed off Kristoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a competitor that has a cigar the same size, fuller bodied cigar. And the reason I came out with that is because they're short supplying the market.
Oh.
And the pissed off is one of our best selling blends. I mean, it's fantastic. And the extremely pissed off, we cannot make it fast enough.
Wow.
I'm not going to name competitors, but yeah.
That's why I don't want to smoke this. I just, it's beautiful.
No, it's brother. We make we make a ton of that. We can't make it fast enough.
That's my favorite, hands down. Kristoff. Go ahead, Mario. Cut you off. Sorry.
I said, by short selling, do you mean they're selling it like below their cost, or they're limiting the production, or what does short selling in cigars mean?
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to you.
Well, this particular company is known for short supplying the market, right? So we look at opportunities, I'll put it that way, and say, what can we do to help fill that market, that short supply, as an alternative product? So the extremely pissed off is one example of what we've done.
Okay, so they're limiting their production, and you saw like an opening for a similar type cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got
now the flavor may not be the same, but the size and a fuller bodied cigar, fuller flavored cigar, we look to fill those market gaps.
Yeah. Yeah, that's smart marketing.
All right. Before we get any further, let's do the Capone cut. It sort of factors into today's show, and then we'll continue on our interview with Glen Case. So this week's Capone cut is the Kristoff Original Maduro. Kristoff Original Maduro doesn't need the hype. It lets the smoke do the talking. It brings gritty, natural sweetness. It gives a balance and not brute force. You're going to get notes of cocoa, espresso, earth, toasted wood, and a little bit of black pepper. It's a medium body, smooth and consistent, the kind of cigar a wise guy likes it every day and not just on special occasions. This cigar here we go. I'm losing my ability to talk already. This is the cigar of the made man who handles business quietly, no flash, just respect. What are we pairing it with? We're pairing it with the Bootleggers Straight Rye Whiskey, I think Rittenhouse Rye, Old Forester's Rye, or Sazerac Rye. Why that works is you're going to get the rye spices. It sharpens the cocoa and the coffee notes. The dry finish keeps it from getting too sweet. Feels like old school working class and right out of Chicago back room. You can also, if you want, this is something I'm very tempted to try this, is coffee with a splash of bourbon for a little bit of early afternoon, cold weather, or pre-dinner smoke. The Capone rating is the Italian beef. Bold and satisfying, a solid daily smoke. Kristoff Original Maduro has depth without being too heavy, affordable enough to smoke often, flavorful enough to not feel boring. It's not a rare blossom. It's way more than a basic Chicago dog. That's a incredible muscle cigar. Kristoff Maduro is a cigar of the working gangster, rich cocoa, coffee, and earth with zero pretense. Light it with a rye and handle business. Handle business. I can't read what I wrote. So that is our Capone cut. And Glenn, like I was saying, it's something we just highlight a different cigar each week and talk about it. And original Maduro fit in there perfectly. So why stay in Chicago? You know, obviously you've done quite a few interviews. Everybody always says Chicago is not the place for cigars, but we here at the Chi-Town Cigar Podcast would argue differently. Like we were saying pre-show, there's definitely a lot of cigar. Well, there's 3 cigar companies right now in the Chicagoland area, but there's a lot of people from Chicago that are involved in cigars. So I'm glad you stayed, but why stay? Why not go to Florida or somewhere else to make your life a little bit easier, I guess?
Well, yeah, I was born and raised in Chicago. My family is in Chicago. I love Chicagoland. I've never lived in Chicago downtown, but I just love it here. My family's here, and it's a great market for cigars. I mean, it's a fantastic market for cigars. And Kevin Hatchie, who's our in-house sales rep for this market, does a fantastic job. But I just love it here.
Yeah,
you could get anywhere from here with O'Hare being such a major airport. You don't have to
Absolutely
hop around. Yeah,
absolutely.
Drive. I mean, I'm a driving type of guy, and it's not that I don't like flying, but I just like to drive. In Chicago, I mean, everything's within 16 to 20 hours. If you're going to the far west coast, it's a whole heck of a
We're in the middle. We're in the middle, definitely.
Yeah, it's the Mideast or Mideast. Oh gosh, Midwest. Yeah, you know, it's. I think Chicago. It's sort of like food. People all of a sudden realize that Chicago is a pretty big food hub. I mean, you've got some fantastic restaurants in the Chicagoland area, in downtown Chicago, some of the great ones. And it's there was a show on a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, where they were talking about the best cigar lounges, and William Cooper brought up Erwin Reese's, as being a great. So I mean, okay. Yeah, he also picked up Dubai. I think did he have 2 of them from Dubai that he talked about?
Yeah, he had a couple from Dubai. Yeah.
Yeah, so Chicago's cigar lounge is being packed right in there with Dubai. So it tells you something that we are a hub for cigar smokers. And I mean, the taxes are
absolutely. And Ewan Reese is the oldest single-family owned cigar shop in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
They're right downtown. Yep.
Right across from the Palmer House. Yep. One of my other
shop. I've done events there. Great people. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's a great market.
Talk about lounges. You gotta tell Kevin to come back. I don't know if you know, but there's a different owner, Ultimate Cigar Lounge. So that's why I'm here. You probably know Tony that he used to be here, but sold the place. So I'm more than welcome to have more Kristoff in my collection here at Ultimate.
My friend, I would love to do an event with you guys. Kevin's a great guy. Yes. We'll arrange something. I would love to do that. That'd be fantastic.
Absolutely. Because picking back on where Kristoff, when I first started, I mean, I'm not smoking for years. I've been smoking since 2017, before COVID. But I started with Kristoff. It's one of the brands that started with Kristoff, and it's one of the only brands that stays still in my portfolio, and I'm still to this day. I can say, hey, I'm, because like other brands out there that I can say I don't really smoke that anymore, but I still to this day, after all these years, still smoke Kristoff because it's a consistent good cigar, and that's what it's about with his blends. You don't need, like you said, it's art. It's not rocket science. It's owner like you, they're personal, blend, and this is what I love because it's consistent. And obviously there's consistent brands out there, but Kristoff is one of the top brands that I know is always consistent throughout the years.
I appreciate that, and that's sort of my mantra. It's all about quality, consistency, and availability. If you miss on any one of those 3 points, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
So the cigar I'm smoking right now, the second cigar I came out with 20 years ago, still as good as it ever's been, but also availability, right? So the quality is there, the consistency is there, and if you miss on any of those points, we might be back ordered after a big show on a certain size for a week or two. But if you lose that shelf space, if you can't fill that order, as a retailer, that's expensive shelf space. That's expensive real estate. You're going to lose that to someone else. So again, it's always about quality, consistency, and availability.
And one of the things, go ahead, Marty.
So one of the things that always interested me is like when you're blending cigars and you have to go out and buy a certain amount of tobacco to cover, I don't know how many years of production, but every so often you're going to have to go out and buy a new year's production of whatever leaf you're going for. How much do you have to go and reblend the cigar after that, or how consistent is the cigar taste when you get different seasons of tobacco?
Right. So that's a great question. So what we do is we buy from the same growers, the same fields, and the same lots within the field. So fields are broken up into lots. Mm-hmm. So we're buying the same tobacco from the same grower, the same field, the same lot every year, year after year. So that's where we get the consistency to ensure that whether it's wrapper, binder, or filler, it's the same tobacco year after year. Now, if it's a wet season or dry season, the yield is lower or higher. That affects pricing, but otherwise it's the same tobacco year after year after year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And one of the things I think, and you can sort of touch on this one, is there's two things that I think are, I don't want to say unique, but it goes to what you were talking about, consistency. All of your cigars are draw tested.
Yes, 100%.
So, I mean, that's great for somebody that is new to the industry or is new to cigar smoking, because, okay, I know when I pick something up, it's going to be a great smoke. It's been draw tested. I know I'm not going to get a tight draw. I know that when I light this thing up, it's going to be a nice, even smoke. I'm not going to have a problem with it. But one of the other things that you do is your rolling method is I'm going to butcher this, intuber rolling.
Intubar.
Intubar. Okay. I told you I'd butcher. I told you I would.
It's all good, my friend. It's all good.
So if people don't know, and I mean, we like to try to make sure that we're educating both the veterans and the newbies, as I like to call them. Do you want to talk to people about what that entails?
Right. So Entubar is a bunching technique, right? So there's two techniques, right? One is Entubar, which is essentially individually scrolling each leaf and the filler, versus a booking technique, which is they're folding on top of each other. So Entubar is essentially like drawing drawing smoke through straws in a cigar, versus a booking technique, which you get a tighter draw, inconsistent burn. And Entubar really means a more consistent burn, even draw throughout the cigar. It takes more time. It's more expensive, but it's the right way to make cigars. It's the right way to make cigars. And when I started off, we went through our growing pains, and we didn't draw test every cigar. But I will tell you, early on, this is going back 15, 18 years ago, we were growing so fast, and we had an issue with draw test, right? I mean, cigars weren't drawing consistently. So now, going back 15, 18 years ago, we draw test every single cigar using the Entubar bunching technique. It's the right way to make a cigar. It's a very traditional method of making Cuban cigars. So that's what we've been doing, again, for the last 15, 18 years.
And I think you see it with the smoke output. I think the smoke output is just, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, it's you again, quality, consistency, and availability. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
There's nothing worse than a tight draw in a cigar. That's the one thing that
you never want to fight with a cigar, ever.
Yeah.
It's the worst, and then you got to take up your tool, and it's a headache.
When you look at the foot of a cigar, like a competitor cigar, can you tell what rolling technique or what bunching technique they use to do it? I always wondered that. Like you look at the foot, you can kind of see the tobacco a little bit, but
you literally have to cut open the cigar to see what technique they're using, a bunching or into bar technique or a booking technique.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to take the cigar apart.
Talking about the technique, most of your cigars, and I like it a lot, is pigtails, and the foot is different on the bottom. It's loose foot. Do you like it that way? Can you explain to us why some of them and most of them you have sizes like that? I like it personally. I love the pigtails.
No, I'm glad you brought that up, because one of our signatures was, well, two signatures, right? The pigtail on the cap.
Yeah.
And then the uncut foot. So it's not a shaggy foot, which is different than an uncut foot.
It's different, yes.
Right. So our line, for the most part, is got a pigtail. But about 2 years ago, we did away with the uncut foot. Now, the benefit of an uncut foot, when you light that cigar, you get a blast of that wrapper, which is where most of your flavor comes from. But I got tired of burning holes in my shirt, my pants.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I was about to tell you that.
We did away with the uncut foot about 2 years ago. So now they're all clean cut foot. So that's a short story. But I mean, the pigtail is still one of our signatures on our newer stuff, like the Tres Compadres. It's a traditional triple cap. Our Nicaragua, same thing, triple cap. But our pigtail is one of our signatures. But the uncut foot we did away with.
If you do it right, the pigtail, if you twist it just right, that's your cut. It'll come out. When I did the guardrail, I just twisted it just enough, and I was getting a good draw out of it. I mean, it's really pretty cool when it comes to a pigtail, and if the pigtail's done right, to be able to you don't need a cutter. You've got
Mike, you're 100% right. I normally just bite it off or twist it off, like you said, and it's still a perfect draw every time.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's the cheap way of smoking a cigar, or else it's the camper's way of going, hey, I forgot to bring a cutter. Oh wait, I forgot. I can just twist that right off, and
right.
So when you switched from the uncut foot, is that when you did your packaging transition?
So the repackaging we started about 1.5 years ago, something like that. So we're 90% done with the old packaging, so that loose tobacco is all gone. The rough cut cedar boxes are all gone. So they're much more elegant gold foil boxes, lacquer boxes, no more loose tobacco. The bands are very elegant, very rich. Again, gold foil. So we transitioned again, probably about 1.5 years, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead.
A lot of people like kind of the rustic looking feel, but I like the new packaging. I think it's pretty.
I will tell you, the retailers hated the loose tobacco, right? It's a mess in the humidor. Everyone's nodding. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we surveyed our retailers probably 7-8 years ago and said, all right, do you guys want the loose tobacco? No loose tobacco? And it was a 50-50 split, but I made the decision again 2 years ago. I'm like, we're done with this. We're switching to very elegant boxes. The cigars are the same, but no more loose tobacco. Now we're going to lacquer boxes, beautiful, elegant, rich bands. So yeah, we made that change.
And you say that, and again, when I was doing some research, your guys' website it's just classy. I mean, it is. Going to your website, it's like you almost feel like it's almost like a Davidoff style. I mean, just the way it's sort of laid out and the way the cigars are laid out, it's really, and I think is a credit to you guys doing the rebranding, because you just look at it and you're like, oh, and you start looking at the prices, you're like, wait, are these correct? Because it's like, wait a minute here, this is totally, it's not what you're expecting, because you guys do something, you package in 10-count boxes. Am I correct with that still?
So our pissed off Kristoff used to be 10-count boxes. We switched to a 20-count box.
Okay.
So everything is 20-count box right now. But I'm glad you mentioned the website. We redid our website probably 2.5 years ago, and it was way outdated. The old website, it looks much more elegant. There's more information there. There's interviews with myself, Ward Hall, who's my CEO, Jared, who's the Senior Vice President of Sales. So it's a very much more elevated site, and more informational, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it really is just, like I said, I don't know how else to say it other than it's just a really classy website. I just want to, let me see if I can put this. This is their website, and it's just, you can really get quite a bit of information if you're looking for information on Kristoff. Again, looking at this, I'm like, am I looking at the right website? Because it was just, I'm like, holy cow, yeah. There's the information about Glen right there. There's their events coming up. So it's just a really cool website for a brand. I've seen, we all look at brand websites, and I just think that one just sort of gives you an idea of this is some elegance.
Yeah, it's really interactive, right? You can find out events in your local town, and it's very very upscale.
It's updated.
It's user friendly.
Yeah, I was, some websites I go to, and I'm like, you guys haven't updated your website in a couple of months. This is all stuff that's passed and stuff like that. So
right.
Yeah, the new bands on the new cigars, they're really nice. Really nice job with the bands.
Thank you.
Because what I'm smoking right now, I got the older band, obviously. But yeah, this is the older brown from Kristoff.
Yeah.
And then the new one is beautiful. Has the KC on it. So really nice job.
So if people haven't heard this, I want to talk about the guardrail.
Yes.
I've heard this story. And I hate to bring up a bad moment in your life, but a bad moment birthed a great cigar. So I hate to let's talk about how this all came into play, because I think people are going to be, if they haven't heard this story, they're going to be like, holy cow, you've had a brush here, and it's pretty unique. So share with us the whole idea of how the guardrail came about and the story that led up to it.
There's the guardrail. The cellophane, you can't see it, but anyway. So yeah. So over the years, I've written, let me back up a second. I've ridden motorcycles my entire life, right? I've driven all over the country. And when I got in this industry, I used to do motorcycle events, Kristoff events all over the country. So the retailer would say, Glen's coming out. We're going to do a bike event. We're going to ride for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, come back to the cigar shop. We'll do a big Kristoff event. So I did this countless times, right? So this particular event, it was Oklahoma City. And we booked this months in advance. And I'm very strong in my faith.
Mm-hmm.
So this ties into kind of the story. So I told my wife, I'm like, something doesn't feel right about this event. The bike event, right? I'm going to rent a bike and go back to the shop and do an event. She's like, well, just cancel it. I'm like, well, I can't. It's scheduled. It's booked. So I was talking to my sales rep at the time. I'm like, brother, he's like, are you ready to do this event? I'm like, I'm ready, but something doesn't feel right. Because you've done this all over the country. It's not a big deal. Perfect. So I fly out. This went on for 30 days. I go to fly out to Oklahoma City, and my sales rep picks me up at the airport. He goes, are you ready for the bike event tomorrow? I go, brother, I'm telling you, something's not right. Something's off about this event. He goes, come on, relax. It's fine. We've done this a million times. Good. Next morning, wake up at the hotel, go down for breakfast. We're having breakfast. And he goes, all right, we're going to pick up the bikes in about an hour. He goes, are you ready for this event? I go, I am telling you, something is messed up. And as soon as I said that, 2 paramedics walked in to the hotel with a gurney.
Mm-hmm.
And then a minute later, they walked out and said, we're in the wrong hotel. Sorry. So I looked at my sales rep. All right, that was weird. Because you're right, that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the Harley dealership, rent our bikes, and the guy that's renting our bike says, Glenn, you're all set, except your license expired last week on your birthday. He goes, I can't rent you a bike. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, I am sorry. I go, my friend, we've got like 50 guys waiting for me to do this bike run.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I'll tell you what, I'll fudge your date on your license. Here's the key to your bike. Or else you're all set. So we go on this bike run, 6-hour bike run, and we were 10 minutes away from dropping off the bike. So we did this beautiful bike run, fantastic. And we were 10 minutes away from the shop, my sales rep and I. All the other bike riders peeled off, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going through this sweeping right-hand turn on the expressway in the far left-hand lane. And Oklahoma is known for the crosswinds. And all of a sudden, the bike is buffering. And I'm leaning over as far as I can go. The peg hits the ground. The bike flips out from underneath me. And when I came to, I had paramedics over me, a woman praying over me who was a nurse, off duty, who just stopped by. And I came to, and they were cutting clothes off of me.
Oh.
The next time I passed out again. The next time I came to, I was in the ambulance, and the paramedics were like, I came to, and I go, all right, how bad is it? And the only thing I remember is them saying is, we're doing the best we can. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound good in my mind. I'm like, right?
Mm-hmm.
So next time I came to, I was in the ER, and they were stitching out my face. So long story short, I spent 8 days in Oklahoma City Hospital in intensive care. I broke my tibia in 16 different places.
Wow.
Wow, that's crazy.
Concussion, shattered my navel cavity, my eye socket. And through God's grace, I made it back. It was not good, but I'm here.
Yeah.
And the guardrail is what kept you from.
So the point is, I hit a guardrail doing about 70 miles an hour. That's the whole story behind the guardrail.
That is crazy. That is just, that's the hand of God being on you at a time that,
Where would you have ended up if there was no guardrail, I guess?
I have no idea, but I will tell you this: I had to pay for the guardrail.
Oh, jeez.
I did. I ripped out the guardrail, and the county sued me for the guardrail, so I had to pay for the guardrail.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Talk about that. You talk about being desperate for some money. We're going to go after that guy and have him pay for the guardrail. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of little warnings there leading up to that.
Yeah, my friend, it was insane. And now I pay closer attention to when God speaks to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My uncle on September 11th worked in Tower 2, and he got up that morning and his foot hurt. He's like, I'm going to go to work. It'll be fine. I'll walk it off. It'll be. And my aunt said, why don't you stay home? It's no big deal. Just stay home. No, I should go to work. I should go to. She's like, just stay home. Call in the office. Tell them that they need you. They can call you and stuff like that. He's like, okay, fine. I'll do it. And here he, it hit, and he's like, I would have been dead. He goes, there's no doubt about it. He goes, I would have been dead.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about a shiver that they went, holy cow, and it's like, you get those little moments and you're like, gee, if I would have done something differently, what would have happened and stuff like that.
It's through God's grace. I mean, that's what it's all about. Yeah.
Yeah. It is a great cigar. I am enjoying this, and I'm like, I want to just keep going slower and slower. I'm like, I don't want to keep.
I smoked that yesterday. It was really good.
It is.
Yeah, I never had that guardrail, so it's
Yeah, it's the caramel. It's the caramel and the coffee notes that I just love.
We use a very unique tobacco in the filler on that from Zimbabwe.
Yes.
It gives a sweet hickory note to it. I can't attest to this officially, but I think we're the only one using it. But that blend, I worked on that for 2 years to come up with that blend.
It is a great cigar. I will tell you that again. My research. I am not as good as Mr. Jonathan over there at Two Guys Cigar Shop. His flavor notes and his palate is beyond anything I've ever tasted or ever seen, I should say. But it's a great cigar. I love it, and you can't go past it.
Thank you.
Gotta pick these up.
It's got that Brazilian Arapiraca wrapper on it. It's very sweet, chocolatey cocoa. It's a fantastic blend.
Yeah, and and you're probably right, because I smoke a lot of cigars, but the Zimbabwe tobacco is just really different. It is just really, and it's not a pepper bomb. I retrohale a lot, probably too much, as some people will say. You just sometimes.
I do the same.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh man, this is just nice. This is nice on the palate. It's nice on the retro. I'm like, yeah, this is it's a great cigar. And
go ahead, Brian.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, how did the Zimbabwe tobacco end up in the blend? Like, who introduced you to that?
So, I don't own my own factory, but I'm 98% production out of the factory. But the company that owns it is a German company that grows tobacco in Zimbabwe. And the German company makes tons of cigarettes and machine-made cigars. So when they opened up the factory in the DR back in the boom, 1995, they approached me and said, look, we've got some good tobacco. This is, again, 5 years ago. Got some great tobacco from Zimbabwe. Try it out, see what you can do with it, blah, blah, blah. So that was sort of the introduction to it.
Wow.
Again, I'm not sure if anyone's using tobacco from Zimbabwe.
I did a research. And I couldn't find anybody else that did it. Now, it's a little bit hard to search. Obviously some people don't disclose their stuff, but I couldn't find anybody else. I think there was one, and I think it was a machine-made cigar, and it could have been that German company that did it. But yeah, it was pretty unique in that regard. Marty, you're getting a hello from home.
I thought she was gambling. She's watching us while she's gambling.
There you go.
Perfect.
Val has a question. He wants to know if you got to put your nameplate on the guardrail since you paid for it.
No, I did not.
You only get your nameplate on the guard. You only get your nameplate if you don't make it. So,
right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw our logo for today, but
Yeah, of course.
you got to meet the man, the coach.
Yes.
What was that like? Because I've met him, so I'm just curious your impression or the circumstances surrounding that.
That was a great event. So I was at an event at Mickey Blake's.
Mm-hmm.
So Coach Ditka was at the time employed by the local network. So that was his hangout, right? So
Okay.
he came to Mickey Blake's, and I happened to be doing an event there, and I got there early. And so we hung out. Ditka and I hung out in their cigar lounge, which is beautiful, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a character. And at the time, we were watching the Bears play. Oh, there's a picture. That's fantastic. I love it. And he is awesome.
Yeah.
But every other word out of his mouth was an F word. And he just talked about the different Bears play, 85 Bears. And I told him, look, love the 85 Bears. In fact, one of my highlights of my career was hosting the retired NFL Players Association for the 85 Bears in Lake Forest, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the players were there. And we had a great conversation, hung out, just talked. But no, that was a fantastic event. And he's like, I'll buy a box, no problem.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. He's a great guy. I mean, it's you still see him popping up in comments and stuff like that with today's Bears and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, not to make Val upset, but Ben Johnson, I think is going to give him a run for his money. I think if he sticks around,
he's awesome.
Yeah,
Ben Johnson's amazing.
Yeah, I think he's the guy that we needed in Chicago to rally these guys around and get them going. And I just think it's
right. I'm not sure we'll ever see the 85 Bears again, but Ben Johnson's he's got a good team working. It's good.
Oh yeah, yeah. We talked about this a couple weeks ago because somebody made a comment, not here, but a sportscaster made an announcement because when he took his shirt off to give everybody in Chicago
in the locker room,
Coop made the comment. Now that I think about it, it was Coop that made the comment. They go, oh, he shouldn't be bonding with his players like that. He shouldn't. And I'm like, man, you want to talk about a guy that, you know what? If you're going to do this for the fan, it had no bearing on the Bears. It had no. You're doing this for the city of Chicago,
right?
We're behind you, coach. What do you need us to do? You want us to run in that burning building? We'll do it for you because I think that's the way he's got him thinking. Is what do you want us to do?
But on the sideline, he doesn't show any emotion during the game. None.
No.
Then he gets in the locker room. He takes off his shirt. He's like, "Yes, it's awesome."
Yeah.
No, I think we've got a great team.
Yeah. The players don't even like to
got
talk
to beat.
to him.
We got to beat the Packers though this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, from your mouth to God's ears.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yes. Yeah.
The players don't even like to talk to him before the game. He's so serious. He's so intense. Like they leave him alone.
It looks like he's focused. I think that's what it is.
Oh, we could be swaying Val a little bit. He likes Ben Johnson.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There you see, Val. You're coming around. You're coming around. Yeah. So why don't we jump into some cigar news here, and we'll continue our talk with.
Are we doing sponsors today? Because we should do that if we're gonna.
Oh yeah, I totally. Thank you, Marty. See, I get so caught up in the interview here, I totally forget about everything else that we're doing. Hold on a second.
Step into luxury at Ultimate Cigar Lounge, where passion meets perfection. Discover a world of premium cigars, hand-selected from the finest tobacco regions. From bold beginners to seasoned aficionados, our curated collection delights every palate. Grab a cigar from our amazing selection, pair it with freshly brewed coffee or fine spirits, and sit back and relax in an atmosphere of elegance and warmth. Ultimate Cigar Lounge, your haven for unforgettable moments. Visit us today and ignite your senses. Ultimate Cigar Lounge, located in Villa Park, Illinois. Open daily. Looking for the ultimate eyewear experience in Chicagoland? Discover Eyewear Fix, your premier eyewear store for over 28 years. From sunglasses to sports glasses to safety gear, we've got it all at every price point. Bring your prescription, and we'll handle the rest. Our appointment-only office offers a private, concierge-style experience tailored to your busy schedule. Call or text Chris at 630-853-4167 to book your visit and see why Eyewear Fix surpasses expectations. Eyewear Fix, where style meets precision. Get your fix today.
Three, two, one.
And now, CTCP presents This Week in Cigar News with Teddy the Greek.
All right, we got some cigar news here.
That's a beautiful lounge, my friend.
It's changed. Those aren't even are those even recent pictures, Teddy?
Yes, those are recent pictures.
Oh, are those recent? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That looks awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
You could,
The only
you could hold the
thing,
frickin'
yeah,
football
actually,
team in there.
there's just some new pictures like behind me and stuff like that. But other than that, it's it has changed a lot. They took all the rust. Used to be in here. It used to be all brown and stuff like that. But it's
We do a lot of
really nice.
a lot of herfs there with the Chi-Town crew, our
Yeah.
dojo crew that we hang out with there.
Love it.
Let's get to the news. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think you should talk about this.
I could talk about this. I could talk about
this.
This
Yeah,
is
you should talk about it. Yeah.
This is the new Supreme Leaf Vitola. It just came out. It's shipping next year, February. This is a 6x52 tapered. We pushed Terrence on this, and I can tell you what's coming out. We're pushing him for a Lancero. He's fighting us back and forth on this, but we're pushing Terrence for the Lancero version of the Supreme Leaf. But this is a 10-count box. It's $13.99 for the MSRP. It's if you like Supreme Leaf, this is a new one to try. I think you're going to enjoy it. It definitely it stays in line with the tobacco and the smoke, and it's a great cigar. I smoked one. I got one ahead of time.
That size is gonna be regular production or just
Oh yeah.
No,
yeah.
they do a new Vitola every year. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it'll be this will be the year.
So that's what I'm saying. It stays still okay.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah. You'll be able to get it throughout the year. It's not a limited per se, but you'll be able to get it. So.
All right.
Oh, the winner.
So I was really I have one of those here. I'm really surprised how Half Wheel just put it now because that came like about 2-3 months ago. So the Cigar Rights of America Winter 2025 Freedom Sampler proceeds Cigar Rights of America operation. So $240 for the pouch. It has 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 cigars in, right?
Yeah.
Right? No, 10.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
it's nice. There's some options in there that are,
if you buy it, when you buy it, you get your subscription to CRA for the year, correct?
Yes, you do. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I bought only 2 of them here, Ultimate. It's not a huge market out there because it's, some of them are expensive cigars in here, like we were talking about earlier. Not everybody wants to afford a $60 cigar, right? But it's really nice,
It's a pretty good deal. I like. There's some.
It is a pretty good deal.
There's some really nice cigars in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the money goes to CRA, so you can't argue with CRA. They were definitely helpful in the attack on Nicaragua, and sort of put some of their efforts behind that. So you can't if you can afford it, if you can pick it up. If not, I forget what the yearly cost is to join CRA. I think it's like $50 or $60 a year for the to just join it. So this is interesting. This is very interesting.
So SAG Imports joins intro distribution between going to Nicaragua and Quesada. I don't know much, but it's going to be interesting how that's going to work.
Well, because Joya de Nicaragua left Drew Estates, so they left that whole aspect of it. They broke that relationship off, or they separated. I don't want to say they broke it off. So To see them.
So I want to see how's that gonna work. Yeah.
It's nothing. So Joya de Nicaragua and Casada basically came up with their own board. And so they've got members, they've got employees that are on that board that are helping to steer that. So it's a good direction for them. It's definitely going to help continue to get those cigars out, and I think it's going to be a good thing. I think they're going to find that it works. It was just interesting to see them leave Drew Estates and then to come up with this concept. So interesting.
So distribution is such a key thing. Like, what do you guys do, Glenn, for your distribution?
In terms of,
you go through distribution? Do you have a distributor you work with for your cigars, or?
So for distribution, it's that's through outside the U.S., right? So we're in 60, 70 other countries outside the U.S. We use distributors there, but within the U.S., it's all in-house, right? So,
okay,
yeah, our own in-house sales reps, and they're calling on the shops, and we ship direct from Miami. I've got a separate business in Miami. So when it ships from the Dominican to Miami, we ship from Miami to retailers and brick and mortar throughout the U.S.
How many sales reps do you have throughout the U.S.?
8, 9, something like that.
Yeah, they have to cover a lot of ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
What's the biggest country in Europe with the biggest Kristoff collection, other than Germany? Obviously, maybe Germany, but that you have, like, U.S., Germany.
Yeah. So international sales is probably only about 12% of sales.
Okay.
But Germany's a big market. But European sales are growing year over year.
Yes.
Because the Cuban cigars are short supplying the market. The price increase of Cuban cigars is over the top. But Canada's a great market for us. Germany, we're in Hong Kong, Japan, the Middle East. I don't handle international sales. That's Ward. So, but
how are you guys dealing with the whole California thing and the?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So we registered all our products.
Did you?
Wow.
And now the injunction came in.
Right.
And now we're like trying to fight back for the money that they paid to get them. So it's a mess. California's messed up.
Yeah, that was not a small cost to register.
No, it's insane.
So do you think you guys will get, I mean, 'cause this is going to be an ongoing thing for 26 to see where this is all going to play out. Because I know everybody had to register by October 9th, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
You had to get your SKUs in, and they had to be able to start reviewing them. And now all of a sudden, this is injunction. And now, from what we saw a couple weeks ago, they're going to educate. I think the last thing is they're going to educate the cigar shops, the brick and mortars, and they're even talking about they're not going to enforce stuff. It's sort of going to be okay. We're not even going to enforce it. We're just going to educate.
Yeah, they have no infrastructure to even enforce this in California. And did you mention Saka?
I did not, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said
that's okay.
So he didn't register, but anyway, the point is this. Now there's an injunction, and now we're fighting it back. Not only our filing fees, but all the samples we had to send over.
Right. Yeah, they had to test all those. Yeah.
It's a money grab for California. It's a money grab, and we're fighting it every step of the way.
Yeah. Micah, just to tell you, so the
California
thing, the California thing is, they have a I think it's called UTL. It's an unflavored tobacco list, and in order to have your cigars sold in California, you had to have your SKUs, whatever cigars you wanted, you had to have them listed on this list. And in order to do that, you had to pay. Was it $100 a SKU? Glenn, do you remember? I forget what it was, but it was expensive. I know from talking to a couple brand owners, you're talking, $20,000 to $50,000. Some of these brands put out to have their cigars on this list. And then a couple weeks ago, they came out and said, after Cigar Rights of America, for the PCA, and quite a few other people to fight it and say this isn't fair, they came back and said, yeah, you're right, but we're not going to revoke it. We're going to educate, and we're not going to enforce stuff. I know law enforcement came back and said they're not going to enforce it. They don't know how to enforce it.
No,
they don't know.
They have no infrastructure to support it or enforce it.
Right.
And you're right. It's $150 per SKU, which is per blend, per size.
Right. Yes. What?
It's absolutely insane. So we filed, we did everything we had to do, and now the injunction went in place, and now we're trying to fight back to get our money back, plus the thousands of cigars that we sent to California for quote approval.
Yeah. There's a lot of politicians going, we enjoyed these samples.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's messed up. Crazy. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
That's messed up. So every blend and every skewer gets that's wow.
Yeah.
Every blend, every size, it's absolutely insane.
And so I know some brands were saying, okay, we're only gonna send the Toros in each of our lines. Some were like, okay, we're only gonna send 3 or 4 different lines in a Toro. So it was a pick and choose. I know Saka said, heck with you guys, we're not sending anything. We're done.
Yeah, Saka didn't send anything for approval.
No. He was absolutely done.
No,
I think a couple other brands basically said they weren't sending anything, and it's tough because at the same point, you couldn't have stuff shipped into California. So you can't order from XYZ brand or XYZ store and have it shipped into California because they would have gone after that brick and mortar out of Florida or something like that. So, and again, how are you gonna attack all this? If you've got 100 people in California that have placed orders to Ultimate Cigar Lounge to have cigars shipped to them, that's okay. So now you've got 100 packages sitting there, and it was a mess. And I think it's going to be that it's going to turn around and go, forget this. We're not even playing this game anymore, and they're going to send stuff back. Hopefully they'll send stuff back and refund all the brands their money, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's totally messed up. It's a total money grab on the state of California to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna go through fruition. It's messed up.
Even just the resources putting them down. Just imagine, not just obviously the money too, but money wise and resources wise, and all these people working to just, like you say, you send out thousands of cigars, and now it's just it's
even the brick and mortar. They have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And there was somebody do we have somebody on our show that was talking about it, or maybe I saw it somewhere else? Where
it was Eric? No,
I can't remember who it was, but they were saying that you can go to brick and mortars in California, and there's tables of boxes at a discounted rate because they have to get them out of they felt like they had to get them out of their store. They couldn't, hey, we don't want to have these in our store if they're not on the UTL. So therefore, we're trying to have a garage sale to get rid of this stuff because we don't want to have an inspector come in here, and I don't know how many. I mean, California is a huge state. I don't know how many brick and mortars they have, but you sure as heck don't want to. You're right. You don't have the resources, so you can't have inspectors going to all these little places. You can't have inspectors going to all the post offices or to all the mail hubs. UPS. You're gonna guys are gonna go. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, there's no way.
No,
There's no way.
No, there's absolutely no way they can monitor this. It's totally messed up. Again, it's a money grab by the state of California.
Yep, exactly. So, what do you guys say? We're going to jump into today in history? I got a couple for you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
The time has come for us to take back our city.
All right. So let's continue.
Sorry, Mike. Before you start, Glenn, thank you, because I appreciate cigars when it gets down to the knob.
Yes,
you get down to the knob, and it's exact the same flavor when you started the cigar, and that's why again we're going back to consistency that we talked about. This is what it is about right here. And
absolutely.
I don't know if Mike and Marty does that. We don't do that with all the cigars. You cannot do that.
I'm the same way. It's a finger burner, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Sorry, Mike.
That's okay. No, that's quite all right. So today in Chicago history, so December 16th, 1954, the Chicago Bears in NFL history, the Bears versus the Lions. The Chicago Bears clinched the NFL Western Division. There you go, Western Division, in a regular season game at Wrigley Field against the Detroit Lions, scoring multiple touchdowns and sealing the division. This is part of the Bears' storied rivalry with the Lions and contributed to Chicago's mid-century football legacy. It's funny they say a rivalry with the Lions, because I think the rivalry is more with Green Bay, but back then it was the Lions.
Mike, what year was that?
December 16th, 1954.
Oh, 54, okay.
Yeah, 54. So, and then the other thing I found was December 15th and 16th, 2021. So our era, Teddy, you were alive at this point. Chicago set the record warm temperatures for the state history. It was 66 degrees. So just four short years ago, it was 66 degrees, and that broke previous December records. So there's hope. Like I said, I think Thursday we're supposed to hit 50 degrees.
50
so 55.
degrees, yes, crazy.
Yeah, that'd be nice. So I can remember, I don't know what year it was. I was a wee little lad at the time, but I can remember playing football in the street on Christmas Day. So, and it was warm. And I mean, I'm not talking about football with jackets on. I was talking about football with short sleeves on and out there running around. So, although I was a kid,
listen,
so
we got spoiled. We got spoiled with the past 3-4 years with the winter here in Chicago. So we were overdue for this one.
Yeah,
this year.
No, it's absolutely. So here's only hoping that we can get back to some warmer weather. But again, this is Chicago, so if you don't like it, it's too bad. Just wait a few minutes; the temperature will change.
We're in Chi-Town, my friend.
That's it. that is it.
Last weekend was the 4th coldest year in Bear game history.
Yeah.
It's like past weekend.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think about and to go how cold it was, and then turn around and say, okay, now we're going to be warm. So
right.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, my sister's in Florida. She's like, it's 56 degrees. It's cold in Tampa. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know. So, well, Glenn, we really appreciate you being on the show. It was a great show. I hope everybody that was part of this show. We actually hit 12 viewers at one point, which for us is a big number for us. We're pushing our way to the top. We're trying to get as many viewers as we can. But it was great, and it's I just love having Chicago people on the show. I love that. I think Chicago is a big cigar market. We know it from the sound, the look of things, and I forget who it was that said it. It might have been Fireborn that said it a couple weeks ago, that we need to have a Chicago cigar event. I know we have Chicago Smoke Week, but we need to figure out a way to have a big Chicago cigar event here. They're in Tampa all the time. They're on the East Coast with Drew Estates and stuff like that. But we need to figure out a way to have a big Chicago cigar event to bring people here to see the history and see some of these. I mean, the mansion is a great cigar lounge. Irwin Reese's is a great. Iwan Reese's is a great cigar lounge. Like we said, it's the oldest one in the nation. So, but it's such a pleasure to have you on their show and talk to you about the history of Kristoff. And I guess before we jump off, and I didn't mention this, I wanted to mention it. How you came up with the name of Kristoff Cigars?
So it's named after my son Christopher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's not in the business?
I would love, and guys, thank you for having me on the show. And I would love to do an event at Ultimate. Right. That's maybe.
We're definitely meeting. We're definitely meeting. Yes.
We'll mob the place. We'll mob the place. We've got.
Yes.
There's like 12 to 15 Chicago guys from the dojo that we've all met. We would never have met if it wasn't for cigars. And I think you said this on a show about how unique the cigar. We say this repeatedly, but how unique the cigar industry is, that we all can come together over a little brown stick from all walks of life.
It's the equalizer, right? This brings everyone together. This right here brings everyone together. It's the ultimate equalizer. I don't care how much you make for a living or what you do for business, whatever. This brings everyone together.
It does.
Everybody together.
Your guard gets dropped. It doesn't. Nobody asks how much money you have in your bank account. Nobody asks what you do for a living. It's just, hey, we all enjoy this. And what are you smoking? And why are you smoking it? And what are you getting out of it? So.
It brings everyone together.
Yep. Yes, Fireborn. You're right. You called the Chicago Fire, this Great Chicago Fire Cigar Festival. That is exactly right. So we're gonna take that name and run with it. So
perfect.
Yep.
Guys, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
We appreciate you,
Glenn. Can't wait till meet you.
Keep putting out great cigars. Keep putting them out, and we will definitely have you back on our show to talk about the new and exciting things happening at Kristoff.
Awesome,
Marty.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate
Marty,
you.
close us out from Vegas.
All right. One thing that we should mention that, last week, everyone who tuned in, Abe was not able to make it. He had some, I'm sure he'll talk about it. He talked about it on KMA.
Yes.
And he's rescheduled to next week. So next week we'll have Abe on, and you'll want to tune in because he did say he's got some really nice giveaways to do with us. So, but we definitely appreciate Glenn tonight. It's great to hear about Kristoff, and look forward to doing an event at Ultimate with him.
I would love that. Thank you.
Yep. And until then, everybody, put some smoke in the air.
Good night.